Thanks so much for joining us here on KGW Plus for another half hour of the noon news. I'm Stephanie Domerat. Let's head first to our top stories this afternoon. Police have arrested a man they say randomly punched a Portland grandmother. We brought you this story a few days ago. Now, this crime was caught on camera, and we do want to warn you the video may be tough to watch for some people. Now, last Tuesday, this 69-year-old woman was attacked while taking out the trash in a parking lot near Southeast 122nd and Powell. Yesterday, authorities arrested 24-year-old Santos Portorios. They say he's also suspected of assaulting a 21-year-old a few blocks away just 15 minutes after the assault. The suspect was taken to jail at that time and then later released. Portorios faces 2 counts of 4th-degree assault. More charges could be added. A former Beaverton police detective has been indicted on 6 counts of official misconduct. The allegations against Michael Balick included 2024 convincing a woman to send him sexually explicit photos by pretending it was required for official police work. He's also accused of unauthorized use of his police badge and vehicle. Balick joined the department in 2013 and resigned last month. A high school student in Salem was arrested after he allegedly brought a gun to school. In a letter sent to parents, Sprague's High School says the gun was found in the student's backpack during a standard weapons screening yesterday morning. School staff confiscated the firearm and contacted police. The school says it is the first gun taken from a student since it implemented the detection systems. Some parents in the Westland-Wilsonville School District say they feel blindsided just a few weeks after voters approved a $190 million bond for the district. And that's because the district is now recommending the closure of multiple schools. Tonight, families plan to talk about the issue at a listening session with school officials. Corey Johnson has a closer look.
Well, community members say the district previously promised not to revisit the idea of school closures, at least for the next 2 years. In January, the school board voted unanimously to keep all primary schools open through the end of the 2027 school year. They say the Capital Go bond voters narrowly approved this fall was promoted to Bolton and Stafford families as funding repairs and upgrades at all school districts. But after the recent election, the superintendent laid out a projected budget deficit in a work session, recommending the closure of Stafford and Bolton primary, shutting down all preschools, and ending the Mandarin immersion program. The parents say they weren't given these details before the vote, and tonight will be the first chance for parents to publicly respond before a board vote on December 8th. The parents also point out to move forward with the closures, the board would have to rescind its January vote to keep Westland-Wilsonville primary schools open for the next 2 years. Tonight, parents will have a chance to speak with the board at 6 p.m. at Meridian Creek Middle School. Back to you.
Well, Portland Public School Board has approved the purchase of the One North property in the Albina neighborhood. It will house the Center for Black Student Excellence, a project that's been delayed since voters approved it in 2020. The center is intended to provide support and tutoring for underserved students while honoring Black students' histories. In a statement, PPS says this purchase marks a major step toward fulfilling that commitment. Several community leaders voiced their support for the purchase at a school board meeting last night.
Public trust. It's at an all-time low. People are tired and frustrated with government officials who say all the right things, but don't follow through in the end.
But you all, what we are talking about is the future. We are talking about a future in which Black children are invested in ways that no one ever has through public infrastructure anywhere at any time in this country.
A PPS report shows the building requires major upgrades that are expected to cost up to $20 million. The plans to rebuild the Albina neighborhood are starting to take shape. Yesterday, the 1803 Fund showed off its plans to transform 2 areas, Albina Riverside, where the former grain silos stand on the Willamette River's east bank, and properties in the low-end area located along Russell Street in what the fund says is the historic heart of Black Portland. It's a $70 million investment to create cultural centers, learning opportunities for kids, affordable housing, and businesses in that area.
So what we're trying to do is rebuild it as if it were never destroyed. Like, what would it look like 60 years later if it hadn't been taken by eminent domain and essentially flattened? We're buying a zip code. That's the big story.
Now, the 1803 Fund says construction will likely start in about 2 years. All right, let's take you outside now on your Wednesday afternoon. Very gray and cloudy out there today. Let's check in with Chris McGinnis with a look at what's ahead for us. Hey,
Usually
Chris.
there's some mountains we can see there.
Yeah, clearing up a tiny bit.
Not
maybe?
today. This is, from this vantage point, you would be able to see Mountain Hood right there. But of course, the cloud deck is quite low. At least we can see the tippy top of the Interstate Bridge from the Vancouver Springs at the waterfront camera. It's 44 degrees right now at Pearson Airfield. Downtown Portland, if you look off in the distance, the tops of the West Hills are kind of up in the cloud deck, so you may even have a little mist for you folks. 44 right now, again, at the airport as well. Visible satellite imagery pretty much confirms what those sky cameras were showing. We are stuck underneath. There's a deck of clouds up pretty high, and then some low clouds and some moisture as well that are just keeping us pretty well socked in. Eventually, those clouds are going to yield some rain, but not today, not until tomorrow. 43 right now in Beaverton and Sherwood. The big picture across the state, we're in the mid-30s out towards Pendleton, Baker City, John Day. There were some widespread areas of freezing fog on some of the highways out there earlier this morning, so it's good to get those areas above freezing. Today we are stuck in the clouds, mid-40s. We'll do it. Sunset, of course, at 4:27. Rain comes in tomorrow, Stephanie. I think that rain arrives in time for the morning commute. I'll walk you through that with Futurecast in just a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then, Chris. Thank you. Let's give you a look at some of the headlines happening around the world this afternoon. An anticipated peace plan with Ukraine has stalled. After 5 hours of talks Tuesday, still no deal between Russia and the U.S. and failed to reach a deal. Now, Ukraine and its European allies are accusing Putin of feigning interest in peace efforts, while Russia claims the Europeans are sabotaging the U.S.-led push. Ukraine saying it plans to meet with officials in the U.S. soon. After more than a decade since a Malaysia Airlines flight disappeared, deep sea divers say they will resume the search for the jet later this month. Malaysia's authorities announced that a private U.S. firm, Ocean Infinity, will conduct the search. Last year, the company said it had improved its technology and narrowed the search area in the Indian Ocean. The Boeing 777 disappeared on March 8, 2014, with 239 people aboard. Apart from small fragments found washed ashore, no wreckage or bodies have ever been recovered. The search continues for hundreds of people still missing after a cyclone tore through Southeast Asia. The death toll from last week's catastrophic flooding and landslides in Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and Thailand have surged past 1,400 people. Rescue teams say at least 800 people are still missing, though Indonesia and Thailand have mobilized rescue efforts. Sri Lanka is still struggling to get resources due to its recent economic crisis. And torch relay for Winter Olympics 2026 is about to begin its historic journey across Italy. After a 9-day relay in Greece, the flame will be handed over to Italian organizers in Athens Thursday. The flame will then travel through every region of Italy, through 60 cities, 300 towns. The journey will conclude in Milan on the evening of February 6th for the Winter Games opening ceremony. And those are your world headlines. And still ahead here on the news at noon, from artificial to all natural, we've got tips on caring for your Christmas tree this holiday season. Plus, a masked bandit made a mess at this liquor store, but the only thing they ended up with was a hangover. We'll explain.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, the countdown is on to the unofficial kickoff of the holiday season, the annual Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting. Now, that festive occasion may have you thinking about your own Christmas tree. NBC's Maggie Vespo has some tips on how to care for that Christmas tree of yours.
5, 4. With the iconic Rockefeller Center Christmas tree set to dazzle once again, joy to the world. Families nationwide are on the holiday hunt for their own perfect pine. Even if they have to brave brutal winter weather to find it.
Isn't it a beaut, Audrey?
She'll see it later, honey. Her eyes are frozen.
And in that modern Yuletide debate,
you're either from a fake tree family or a real tree family.
One recent survey shows 85% of Americans believe real Christmas trees bring joy to everyone who sees and smells them. This as analysts say tariffs are driving up prices of fake trees, 80% of them manufactured in China.
Every real Christmas tree sold in the United States is grown either here in the United States or in Canada.
I love Christmas. I love this time of year.
The real tree trend alive and well at Ivy's Christmas Trees in Chicago.
The real tree gives like more of the real Christmas vibe. It smells good. It just feels so warm and cozy.
I did it with my family growing up. It's just not as fun pulling out of a closet.
Expert tips for going the real tree route. The cheapest options tend to be pine, Scotch, white, or Virginia. The longest lasting, fir, noble, Fraser, or balsam. For a unique scent, you could opt for the citrusy smelling Con Color on display at the White House this year.
I'm totally content with our fake tree. It does a really good job. It's really easy to set up.
Experts note fake trees have winning factors, from the lack of upkeep like watering and cleaning needles to their ability to hold heavier ornaments. Whichever route you choose, they say shop early to find the best deals and, of course, buy the tree that speaks to you.
Charlie Brown is a blockhead, but he did get a nice tree.
To bring the holiday spirit home.
And speaking of that holiday spirit, we are in the final 2 weeks of this year's KGW Great Toy Drive. One of the easiest ways you can help right this second is by making a cash donation online. You can go to kgw.com/toy and click donate cash. We appreciate your generosity. By the way, it's another great week to give because Oregon Corrections Enterprises is doubling your donations, so your money is going twice as far. We also want to let you know about 2 collection events happening this weekend. You can drop off a new unwrapped toy this Saturday at the Washington Square Mall between 11 and 2. And on Sunday, we'll be collecting toys at the Oregon Ballet's matinee performance of the Nutcracker. Thanks so much for your support. All right, let's check in now with Chris with a look at your weather.
You know, it just so happens that there may actually be a break in the continual rain during those toy drive events, so another reason to get out and support. All right, we are tracking rain in the forecast, a couple of days of on and off wet weather, and I'm going to walk you through that with Futurecast coming up in just a few minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
And it is Wednesday afternoon. We're inching along to the weekend, and it sounds like the rain's on the way, and it's going to stick around.
It is more rainy than not, although I wasn't joking a couple minutes ago when I said that the breaks may actually coincide with our KGW Great Toy Drive drop-off. So there you go. See,
Perfect.
Mother
Well
Nature
done.
even likes supporting the kids. Let's get you out the door and talk about this. Here's our weather headlines. Cloudy today. It's possible we get some mist up in the West Hills because you're kind of in the cloud deck. Rain developing tomorrow, and there's a pretty good bet that we are in the rain by the time we hit the morning commute. So be prepared for an on and off wet day tomorrow, and then rainy into the weekend. There are several impulses, weather systems that are going to scoot through the area. No one storm is like, oh, this is the storm of all storms. But cumulatively, between Thursday and Sunday, it looks like the valley picks up anywhere from 1 to maybe 2 inches of rain, depending on who gets, stuck under the rain band long enough. This is look at rainfall potential in the European model. This takes us through the end of the day on Sunday. And you can see, 1.5 inches towards Kelso and Portland, maybe better than an inch in Salem. Don't get too fixated on exactly where these numbers are. This will probably shift around a bit. But the point is, pretty good soaking at the coast. And even in the Cascades, I'll touch more on this in a second. The snow levels, unfortunately, this go around, that has been a story that we just don't have any snow really in any of the Cascade ski resorts at this point. Snow levels with this series of weather systems is going to be fairly high. I'll show you that in a second. For now, cloud cover overspilling a ridge that's loosely kind of anchored out in the Northeast Pacific. Let me go out a little wider because you'll see this plume of moisture is kind of going up and over that ridge. And it goes all the way out towards the Central Pacific. So all of that is going to work its way into the region. I don't think it's going to be terribly heavy rain, but it's going to be more on than not as we go into the next several days. This is Futurecast tomorrow morning at 7:30. Generally light rain, and the heavier, if you were to try to say, well, where's the heavier rain going to be? At this point, odds favor it being across the Columbia, and it's certainly up towards the Seattle area early tomorrow. But as we go through the day, the rain will just continue drifting overhead here. And I'll stop the clock at Friday. Friday morning looks like maybe one of the heavier, more intense shots of rain. Again, this is trying to find a needle in a haystack in terms of when is the rain really going to be falling. But Friday morning looks like a fairly wet day. Maybe getting a light break in the action overnight Friday. Saturday, another system clips on through. And then Sunday, I'm targeting Sunday as another day where we get a pretty good soaking as well. All right, Timberline Lodge. We actually have some light snowflakes up there right now. When I show you the snowfall potential map, generally we're looking at 6,500, 7,000 foot level snow. So again, in the Cascades, the really high tippy tops of the volcanoes getting some snow, but down low, probably not. At the beach, it's a little cloudy and misty. I don't know why the observation is reporting clear. It is cloudy right now. I wanted to point out that there's a beach hazard statement for the potential of some sneaker waves and coastal flood advisory as well as we go to Thursday. Of course, we've got a full moon on Thursday, so that with the onshore push, there could be some periods of high surf and higher than usual tides. All right, there's the promised rain, 4 days of it. We get a break on Monday. And then because we will have missed it, we'll appreciate more rain in the forecast on Tuesday. There you go.
Lots of indoor activities,
yes,
maybe.
Great for decorating.
Planning for that. All right, Chris, thank you. Well, still ahead, a whole new meaning to party animal. A look at the damage a raccoon caused after raiding a liquor store. Oh.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Oh, you got to see this. A raccoon that broke into a liquor store and soaked up some of the merchandise went viral after the poor thing passed out at the scene of a crime. Look, there he is. Jeremy Roth shows us how this trash panda became a trashed panda. In today's Take a Look at This.
A Virginia liquor store was recently raided by a masked bandit who caused damage to the merchandise before passing out drunk on the bathroom floor. And that masked bandit was a raccoon. And no, I am not kidding. Hanover County Animal Protection, which responded and removed the trashed panda, shared the news on social media, saying police believe the animal broke in, ransacked the store, sampled the spilled wares, and like so many college students, was found passed out face down next to the toilet. Officials say the crocked critter eventually sobered up and was safely released, but for those keeping score, this makes the third substance-related raccoon story to make headlines this year, with one that got drunk in a Kentucky distillery's dumpster and had to be revived with CPR, and the other being found by Ohio police in a vehicle holding a meth pipe. Still not kidding. Look, I know times are tough and it's a jungle out there, but these raccoons need to seriously examine their life choices, man. And now from a drunk as a skunk raccoon to a sugar-slinging Wolverine. A Wisconsin frozen custard parlor got a dose of star power when actor Hugh Jackman showed up and served up some custard cones to promote his upcoming film about a Neil Diamond cover band from Milwaukee, according to WTMJ. The flavor du jour was Song Sung Blueberry, a play on the film's title, and the superstar's surprise service was a welcomed sweet treat for customers just in time for the holidays. Finally, a UK hotel has a neat holiday treat of their own, a 25-foot-tall Christmas tree made from 100,000 balloons. The amazing decoration, encased in a plastic ball outside Birmingham's Moore Hall Hotel and Spa, was constructed for a good cause, as each balloon can be purchased and sponsored to benefit local charities this holiday season. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW+. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW+. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
All right, time to plan some good indoor activities or have your rain jacket ready.
Yeah, or both.
Or both. There you go.
You go cut your tree down in the rain and then you bring it in, you put
there
it
you
up,
go,
and
decorate.
Then you decorate by the fire. Yeah, so that's the forecast the next couple days. Cloudy, foggy today, 46. Temperature's pretty mild. Snow levels, unfortunately, still pretty high in the Cascades. Really starting to worry about that. We'll see if those come down in the weeks ahead, but not this week.
All right, Chris, thank you. And thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 4.